Thank you very much. Your Excellency, President William Ruto, who is also the party leader of UDA, leaders of the two political parties, ladies and gentlemen, Amjambo. There are ODM people here. ODM. 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 You see, wako tayari. Well, I'm very happy to stand before you here this morning to talk to you after a long period of absence. As you know that in the last 6 months, I've been engaged in the campaign on the Continental platform for the position of the chair of the African Union. Some people ask me why did I decide to run for that position. And I say that I was approached by senior leaders on the continent who, when they saw that that position was becoming vacant, they needed somebody with a Pan-Africanist ideology to go and try to set that movement in the right path so that it can achieve the objectives for which the founding fathers formed it. So they then sent the former Nigerian president, President Obasanjo, to me to come and persuade me to run. And after a lot of soul searching, I made a decision. And some of you will have seen me with President Obasanjo on my side when I announced that I was going to run for the position of African Union chair. I did not expect to be supported by the Kenya government. But somehow out of blues, President Ruto announced that he would support my candidature. I thought this is a better way to get rid of him. Good riddance. I would say that, in respect of the motives, he actually was genuine because he followed that announcement by giving full support to my candidature. As you know, you cannot run for the chair of African Union without being sponsored by your home government. You cannot just sit somewhere there and say, Mimi ni Professor Kindiki, I want to be a chairman of African Union. You will not even be seen. Your name must be presented by a government official through the embassy of Kenya in Addis Ababa. And this they did. And not only that, they put also the machinery behind my campaign. And Mr. President Ruto himself called various presidents and made an appointment for me and also persuaded them to support my candidature. He himself invited the president from East Africa here in Nairobi to basically adopt me as a candidate for the Eastern region. And this they did. So Kenyan ambassadors in all those foreign countries were also informed and that they would support my candidature. And whenever I went to, they received me at the airport, took me to the hotels, and also took me to meet with the president. I was able to meet more than 40 presidents on the continent. And I traveled Africa from east to west, south to north, like never before. As you know that I have been the high representative of the AU on issues of infrastructure. So I'm not actually strange to these issues, to the continent. But it gave me a better opportunity to now understand problems facing many African countries firsthand from the leadership of the continent. Let's know that our continent has suffered seriously from innovations from outside. First was the slave trade that took so many of able manpower across the shores to go and work in the building of Americas, both North America and South America. Some were taken to Arabia, some were incarcerated there and died there. So that was the first. Then came colonialism, where they went and set somewhere in Berlin and partitioned Africa according to their interests. British, French, Italian, Portuguese, and so on and so forth. So Africa has suffered seriously. That was colonialism. Then when Africans fought for independence, they granted it, but it was a flag. But then there was also neocolonialism that came about, and Africa has continued to be marginalized. So I saw this and came up with a program of how we were going to deal with these issues. We campaigned strongly, and we went to Addis Ababa quite confident of victory. Before I went there, the women here, Orange women in Nairobi, organized a prayer meeting for me in Bomas of Kenya. And they prayed for my success. And I told them that they were only going to do two outcomes in Addis. One, we would win, in which case we would have succeeded. The other one, we would lose, but we would also have succeeded. Because I told them why, we will come back home. So east and or west, home is? So we are here. So when I came back, I went to meet with the president in Mombasa to thank him for the support that the government had given me during that campaign. And he was, of course, very gracious. And at that time, I found when the two teams from the parties had worked out on some documents that they wanted to be signed, I told him I cannot sign the document until I've consulted our people, my people. So I took time. From that time, I went to Kisumu. I met with the professor. I met with leadership and elders in Kisumu. I went to Siaya. I went to Migori. I went to Homa Bay. I went to Busia, where I met with all the leadership from all the 5 counties in Western. Then I went to the coast. I was in Mombasa. I was in Malindi, in Kilifi. I was in Kwale. I came back. I went to Wajir. I came back. Yesterday I was in Kisii. I was in Narok. I was in Nairobi, here in this same building here with leadership of Nairobi. That is what you call random sampling. And I think I managed to get the feeling of my people, my supporters.